So, are you on the journey to your personal legend? Today, I wanted to go into the book review for The Alchemist. I read this book a couple weeks back and it still has been impactful to me. I had to actually kind of review in my mind what actually happened in the book so I can come here to talk about it. What I'm going to do is just basically kind of explain to you, what happens in the book. There's going to be spoilers and I'm just going to say what I got from it, which you may be able to get from it, and why I either would recommend it or not recommend it. So, um, uh, basically, the main protagonist of the story, he is a shepherd and he lives in a city in Spain. It kind of starts off speaking about a dream that he has where he is going to the pyramids in Egypt and he finds this treasure. So it's just a dream that kind of nags at him. So he ends up going to a dream interpreter and she says, I want 10% of this treasure, you know what I mean? And she starts off with that, and he thinks that she is out of her mind and he thinks that it's just BS, but he doesn't end up paying her. So he's like, you know what, whatever. But what actually turns him into actually seeking out this treasure that he sees in his dream is that he meets up with this king, and this king starts telling him things that he doesn't think that anyone else would know. And the king really promotes talking about actually seeking out your personal legend and doing something and actually finding that treasure for yourself. And he gives him crystals to actually guide him, and he really believes in this king. So this is actually what is the action point that actually promotes him into what he's going to be doing next throughout the remainder of the book. So, as I said, he is a shepherd. He ends up selling off all of his sheep to get money in order to make this excursion to Africa to seek out, his treasure. And, when he actually gets to Africa, he's like, wow, I'm actually here. Like, a few days ago, I was just a shepherd boy, and now I'm here without any sheep with some money, and I'm here. I'm actually doing this. He ends up getting robbed. Soon after he gets to Africa and he starts getting kind of discontent, he meets up with a crystal merchant who gives him a job in his shop, and he learns a lot from the crystal merchant. He learns these things. He ends up, after about a year working there, getting enough money in order to continue on either on his journey to seek out his personal legend or to just go back home. And he is once again initiated to continue going on this personal journey of his to find his personal treasure. So he meets up with a man who wants to become an alchemist, and he starts teaching him or letting him know about what that actually means and kind of getting to the soul of the earth and becoming more aware of that. He goes on this trip into the desert. There's a war going on. He meets this beautiful woman in this sacred town of his, and then he ends up actually finding an alchemist and not realizing that it's alchemist at the time, but he ends up finding an alchemist, and the alchemist starts just going on his journey with him. He ends up turning himself into wind and actually communicating with the souls of the earth. Sorry, there's stuff going on in the back. All right, so he ends up finding the alchemist. He turns himself into wind, gets more connected with the spirit of the earth, and then finally he is there. He is right at these pyramids. He sees the pyramids and he starts digging and he starts trying to find this treasure of his. And do you know what happens? He ends up getting mugged, and he ends up telling the people to try and save, his own life. He ends up telling the people why he's actually there. And why he's there is to find this treasure of his. And the guys that are, mugging him are saying, if I had believed in my dreams, and I would have gone and found a treasure over in a little town in Spain, and that's where it was, under a tree. And at that moment, he realizes that the treasure is actually right where he started off. So it's really a journey of going out, seeking this thing, and pressing forward even though there's trials and tribulations, and finding that, where you began is actually where everything that you were seeking is, it's already there. But you still have all these experiences that really help you. So I was really interested in this book because it is, if you look on Amazon, it is probably the highest, has the most reviews and is the most highly reviewed. Like, it has a 5 stars, and it has like over 12,000, I think, people who have reviewed it. So it was just really interesting to me. And it's a fiction book. I usually come on here and talk about like self-help books. So, it's just like, what could be gained from a book that's fiction, and it's a short book. It's not super long. It took me maybe, I don't know, I think it's like a 7-hour book if you listen to it or something like that. It's not super long. So you're just sitting, you're like, what can you get from this book? And I think you really do gain something from the book, because it just encourages you, and it has the message of encouragement that you need to go out and seek what you're looking for, and put your energy into that, and not let anything that happens surrounding you inhibit that. And it also, like, an additional part of the book that actually, when I was listening to someone else talk about the book, what I found in it is that you can go on this journey, and you can be on you can be around all these outside people seeking a treasure that's outside of you. And you can realize at the end of all of that, that the treasure is actually where you first began. And I think that's a really beautiful aspect of the story. There's probably a whole bunch of other like tidbits that I'm missing, or that you may have gained from it. So I'm actually interested to hear what you think about the book, if you go out and read it, or if you've already read it. I will link down below where you can find the book, where you can read the book. I personally read it on Scribd. I do recommend it since it is short, and since it is just kind of whimsical. I think it's just deserving of a good read. I hope you like this video, and I hope this, encourages you to go out and read. My dad says knowledge is power, and reading is very fundamental. So even if it's a short book, even if it's just, a whimsical book, I think it's definitely deserving of a try. And please subscribe if you like holistic health, mental health, spiritual health journey, all of those good things. Subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.